If you go inside the driving test centre, you'll wait inside the waiting room. They'll call you out. So at your designated driving test time, let's say it's 11:11, they'll come out at exactly 11:11. They'll come out and they'll call your name. They'll call your name and they'll want to see your driving license. Now, when they look at your driving license, they already have a picture of you on their sat-nav. So on their iPad, forgive me. They have an iPad and all your details are on there, including the route you're taking and the maneuver you're doing. So what they'll do then is when you walk towards them, what are you looking for? When you walk towards them, you walk towards the desk. When you sit there, when you stand there, you'll then ask to see your provisional license. So when he's looking at your provisional license, your picture, whatever picture's on there, and your signature is already on their iPad. So if you've shaved your hair, shaved your tash, and you've lost 5 kilos in weight, then you're going to struggle for that identification. Or let's say, for example, you were 17 and you're going for your test now that you're 55, then have some other sort of proof there just in case. Because obviously we grow, we change, and make sure your license is valid. So have a look, each new license, the 10 years, so they only last 10 years. So it's important that when you're going for your driving test that you understand these small little formalities. Once you've done that, and once he's gone through, I don't know what that means, I'm sorry, I can't understand that. Name is in the USE, whatever use. Sorry guys. Anyway, so they've looked at your license. Then what they're going to do, they're going to ask you whether you want your instructor with you or not. Now, personally, to me, it makes no difference. We sometimes go with our pupils, sometimes we don't. If you're taking your own car for your driving test, you can have somebody sat with you, what they call a chaperone. So a bit like if you go to a doctor's surgery with your mom or with your brother, with your husband or wife, you can have them sat in the car instead of your instructor. Now, they can't help you on your driving test. All they can do is sit there and observe. So they're there like to give you a bit of a superpower, but nothing else. They can't intervene, they can't interfere, and they can't dictate your test. So let's say, for example, you don't agree with you passing or failing, then they can't interfere. They can't say, well, yeah, that person should have passed because I'm a driver. So that wouldn't work. Anyway, you'll then come outside the test centre and he'll ask you to walk up to the top of the test centre where you can see them silver gates in that picture now. So if you can see the silver gates with the post box, you'll stand there and then you'll look to the bottom of the car park and you'll read one of the registration numbers of the cars. Once you've read that and you've read it well, you'll then go back to your car. They'll either ask you to go inside, sit in the car, or go to the car and open the bonnet, or pop the hood, as some of them call it. Means exactly the same thing. It means you're going to open where the engine is, and you're going to do your show me and tell me questions under the bonnet. Anyway, if he asks you just to go in the car and not start the engine, you'll then go to the car and then the driving examiner will walk around the car. Aisha, it's not too bad. We're going to go over the route in a couple of seconds, okay? So then what you'll do, once you've sat in the car and he's walked around the car to make sure the car's roadworthy. Now, one thing you need to understand is if you're taking your own car for your test, make sure your tyres don't have any cracks in and they don't have any chips. What do we mean by that? You know, every time you hit the curb, sometimes it cuts the tyre. If your tyre has a cut in it, they will not take you in your driving test. You will not be doing a driving test in that car. So just before you come for your driving test, including you driving instructor, just have a look at your tyres. Make sure your tyres are in good nick. You'll then sit in the car. You'll then move off. You'll come to the top of this road. You'll then turn right at the end. You'll either start your sat-nav from inside the test centre, or what will happen is you'll do your sat-nav halfway through your test route. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over the whole test route with the sat-nav running. However, on your driving test, you'll only be doing sat-nav for 20 minutes. So it's not very long. Sat-nav is not hard. Personally, I prefer driving with sat-nav on rather than somebody telling me where to go. Now guys, if you've got any questions, now's the time to ask them before I move off and do a test route with you guys. I want to kind of go through a couple of things so we both understand, inshallah, so we start moving forward. But guys, if you're watching this live feed and you find it useful, can you please like it a few times so everyone starts to see my live feed? The more people that like it, the more people that see it. So usually in Bradford I get 10,000 likes an hour. I've been ranting for about 20 minutes and nobody's liking the live feed. So please do, it expands my live feed and it lets people know that I'm here, and people know it can help people. Just have a bit of a coffee before I move on. So in terms of what I was explaining to you there, in terms of how it works, that's how your driving test would work. Then you'd come back to your driving test centre. When you come back to your driving test centre, you will be parking either inside the test centre, and if it's very busy, you may park on this main road here. If you're parking on the main road here, you'd park here. Usually it's very difficult weekdays, and the reason why it's busy work days is because there's a school opposite on the left. Now, before we do this test route together, guys, I want to agree a couple of points with you. Now, you can see me in the second camera, so that's me waving at you now. Yeah, now my right is here. Okay, that's my right. Okay, over here. My left is here. Okay, so I know you can see my face there. Okay, so if I'm looking to my right, it's here. If I'm looking to my left, it's there, that way. Okay, the reason why I'm showing you that is when you watch this live feed and I'm following this sat nav, I need you to understand which way I'm looking and why. Now, we also have a YouTube channel. The YouTube channel is called iDriveLeeds. If you go onto there, all your test routes are on there, and this one, hopefully, inshallah, later on today, I'll be uploading so you can watch that on there as well. So I'm going to move off. I won't be able to answer any questions while I'm driving. I will be doing one maneuver on this mock test, or this test route that I'm going over, and that will be parking up on the right, reversing 2 spaces. If you've got any questions, now's the time to ask. I've got a couple of seconds before I move off. If you've got any questions, please ask them now. Okay, so in terms of the car, I've sat comfortable in the car. I can see over the front of the car. I can see the end of the road. Now, I've got a heads-up display here, so I've adjusted it so I can see it without moving. Now, I've moved my seat lower so I feel more comfortable in the car. I can see out of my mirrors. I'm just going to adjust this left door mirror so I can just about see my car. I can see more of the road than I can see of anything else. I've adjusted my rear view mirror so I can see everything out of there, and the center of the mirror I can see is, when I'm looking through the mirror, I'm looking in the center and I can see everything through the back window. The controls to the car, I can reach everything, including the windscreen washer and the indicators. My steering wheel is slightly lower, so the airbag would come out and it would hit my chest rather than my face. So whenever I come into a car, whether I'm doing a driving lesson or if I'm driving a car personally, I make sure I make these small adjustments to the car so I'm easily in control of what I'm doing in the car. So my steering wheel, the airbag, if it comes out, it'll come out towards my chest, protect my face rather than hit the top of my forehead. So whenever you come into a car, make sure you adjust the seat and you adjust the steering accordingly. Adjusting the steering wheel, the rack is this here. So I can adjust the steering wheel. But when I adjust it, I make sure I can see both indicators through there. So I can see which way I've indicated and I don't forget. So we're going to move off now, guys. And I've put the car into drive. So I'm driving an automatic car in this video that I'm doing with you now. I'm now going to do my all-round observations, looking over from my right shoulder, looking over to my left. Now I can see a car coming from the end of the road. I'm not going to move. So I'm going to wait here. So now I'm looking in my left mirror. I can see the learner car coming up, and I can see a learner car that's gone past me. So now that she's gone, I'm now looking over my left shoulder again, looking all the way over to my right, signalling left, looking into my left blind spot as I'm coming out, looking in my left door mirror, inside mirror, straighten up the car. So now my sat nav's telling me at the end of the road, turn right. I will make sure my car's positioned straight, unlike that car. Inside mirror right, signal right.
Turn right, Scotchman Road.
Now I'm going to pause here.
Right.
I'm going to let that learner car go, and you'll see I'm looking to my left and right. Now I can see a learner car coming up the road. Now that car's going to change direction in a few seconds. I can also see a learner car that's just pulled up on the left. So I'm looking to the left and I'm looking to the top of the road. You'll see that I've moved forward in the seat. I'm looking to the top of the road. Now I'm going to start coming out. I'll straighten the car, and now I'm going to pull up on the left after this learner car. Inside mirror left, signal left. I'm going to pull up here. I look in my left door mirror again, left door mirror again,
at the end of the road,
left mirror,
right.
And I've come to a stop here. Now this is typically where you'll stop once on your driving test. So you're going to stop at least 4 times on your driving test. Now, as I'm talking to you, I'm glancing at my sat nav and I can see at the end of this road, I'm going to turn right. So I already know where my sat nav is going to take me. And something you need to understand, guys, when you're driving a car and you're on a driving test, the sat-nav should tell you what you already know. Now that car's in the middle of the road, you can see the one on the left. Now that won't affect your driving test if the road is wide. But if the road is narrow, you will fail your test for pulling up away from the curb so far. However, if the road is narrow, wide, that won't affect your test. So on this road, it won't affect her test. So now that he's asked me to park on the left, cancel my signal, and I've parked. I'm now waiting for the next instruction that person gives me. Now that learner car's just moved off, and if you see in a couple of seconds, this car coming down this road. Now that car, the black car, isn't going that fast. Personally, I wouldn't have moved off. I would have waited until that car drove off, then I would have gone. So now my examiner is going to ask me to move off. So I'm looking, it's safe, I've checked my blind spot. There's a car coming now, and there's a car overtaking the learner car. And this is why it's important that you don't just pull straight off. So now I've cancelled my signal, I've decided not to go. So I'm now going to go again. I'm going to do my all-round observations, and just as I'm signalling, as I look to my rear view mirror, I can see the learner car coming down the road. So I'm now not going to go. I'm going to do that all over again. This is completely normal for a driving test. Looking all over again. As I'm looking, there's nobody coming. Give my gas, blind spot check, right door mirror check again, and I'm moving off. I'm increasing my speed.
At the end of the road, turn right, Heaton Road.
So I'm now following the road down. At the end of this road, I'm going to turn right. So now I'm looking in my inside mirror, my right door mirror, signaling right.
Turn right.
Slowing down. Now you'll see that I position very close to the divide line. That shows my intention to all road users that I'm going to turn right here. So now I'm looking to my left, and I can see there's a mosque right at the end of the road. It's a green building. I'm looking in that lane, and I'm slowly coming out. I'm looking both ways, and it looks good. And you'll see that I edge forward in my seat. That's completely normal. It's completely acceptable. And now your examiner may ask you to pull up on the left again. It's unlikely because the road is very busy, so it's not going to ask you to pull up where it's impossible. And if it's not possible to park here, it's not a problem. But if he tells you to pull up on the left, he's already decided there is a suitable space on the left for you to park. Currently there's none. Assalamu alaikum guys, welcome to our channel. Thank you for tuning in. So guys, if you like our live feed, please do follow us. If you like it, then please like the live feed too. And we also have a YouTube channel. Now a few moments ago, when we came along this road guys, you'll see the live feed was on. The police van wasn't here, so it seems to be an accident. So we're paying attention to what we can see ahead of us. We can see the police van, and hopefully he hasn't cordoned off the road. If he has, then your driving examiner will reroute you. It's not an issue. It looks like there may have been an accident. Everyone's turning right. We'll see in a few seconds. Yes, there's been an accident. So we're gonna have to turn right. So check our mirrors, signal right. Now a few moments ago, there was no issue over here. Remember they were coming through.
Yes, somebody turned left before you, white car.
Okay. I don't think he's gonna let us through.
I've seen it.
No, but I don't think. That should fix itself, yeah. It's done. Sorry guys, we just had to reroute the sat-nav. I've done that now. So it's back to normal. I'll edit this, I'll just remove it from the video.
You will arrive at your destination at
okay, so now
12:22 PM.
imagine me not doing the U-turn and I'm following the road ahead and there was no accident. So we follow the road ahead and it's telling me at the end of this road we're going to turn left, and at some point we're going to turn right. So as I'm going along this road,
After
I know the
300
speed limit on
yards,
this road is
turn
30.
left,
So I'm travelling at 25, 26 miles an hour.
Right.
Any faster than that, I'm going to end up walking into trouble around here. It's a narrow junction. So now at the end of this road, I'm going to turn left. So I'm looking in my mirrors just to see what's going on around me.
Turn
And now
left,
I'll start my
then
routine. Mirrors,
turn right.
signal. then I'll leave my car here. Looking both ways, nothing coming, nothing on my right. I'm now going to turn left at the end of this road. So check my mirrors at the traffic lights. I'm turning right, sorry. Signal right.
177 Wetley Lane, then turn left.
Now it's telling me I'm turning right here and then turning left, but it's not an immediate left, so I'm not too worried about how far from the junction I'll be turning, because it's not showing me and it's not telling me where I'm turning from, so I'm not too stressed. How do I know? When I look at the sat nav, the white arrow is not really big. So now I'm going to move into the middle of the junction, nice and slow, looking in my mirror, seeing what's going on. I can see taximan Nate Laundrette doing what he normally does, and I'm making sure it's not obstructing the road. I'm looking in my rear view mirror and I can see I've left enough space for a car behind me. Looking in my right door mirror for a cyclist, and then I'm following the road ahead. That's the taximan I'm telling you about. So I'm looking at the sat nav and it's telling me to follow the road ahead. So I'm watching the sat nav and I can see that the left turn is a fair distance away.
Turn left, Wheatwood Road. Then, at the end of the road, turn left.
So my left turn, I'm analysing the sat nav as I'm driving. It seems to be reasonably close. I believe it's after that bus stop I can see on the left. So I'm checking my mirrors here. Yeah, it is here. Checking my mirrors. Signalling left. It's this left turn.
Turn left.
Looking in my left door mirror. Looking in my left door mirror again. And I'll start turning now. Now I'm looking to the end of the road and I can see the red car and the white car to the end of the road.
Turn left.
My speed's appropriate. I'm doing about 20 miles an hour. No point going any faster yet because I can't establish what the speed limit of this road is. Now there's no speed limit sign, so it's 30. So now I'm going to be turning left at the end of this road. Now the road is narrow, so I need to be careful. So check my mirrors. Signal left here. And I'll position my car here. I'm looking both ways. It looks good, and it's clear. And I'll now follow the road ahead. So I'm looking at my sat nav as I've come onto the new road. As I've come on, it's telling me it's the next road on the right. So I'm looking at the bus and the white van and the grey van. Check my mirrors, signal right. Now both these lanes go past me.
Turn right, then turn right.
And I'm going to stop at my reference, looking in my right door mirror. I'm now going to follow the road ahead. So typically this could be a road that I could be doing a park up on the right. So here I'll check my inside mirror, my right mirror, signal right, right blind spot check, move across.
Duncombe Street.
Gently brake, come to a stop before the entrance to this building. Come to a stop, into park, handbrake on. And now I'll wait further instruction. The next instruction would be to reverse 2 spaces. In reverse, look around, looks good. Looking in my mirrors, reversing at a very slow pace. No more than 2 miles an hour, which is biting point on a manual car. Car coming towards me, signal right. He has options before he gets close. Gently continue reversing. Now come to a stop, in park, handbrake on, signal off. Looking at my sat nav as well, and now I'm gonna follow the road ahead. Signal left, left blind spot check, looks good, carry on going. Now the road bends to the right, I'm aware of that, so I'll pull the car to the left.
Turn right, Duncombe Street. Turn right.
Looking in my right door mirror. Technically not turning right, following the road round. Keep my car on the left just in case somebody's flying through the junction. Left mirror check again. And now follow the road ahead.
After 200 yards, turn left, A6177, Ingleby Road.
So I'm now turning left at these traffic lights. Check my mirrors here, signal left. I'm aware the lights have been on green for a long time. Now that car should be further into the junction when you stop to turn right. What you need to remember, guys, is, you know, when you're turning right at a junction, you need to leave enough space for somebody behind you as well. So consciously be aware of that. It's a very silly test fail. As I've cleared the junction, checking my mirrors again. I've got my signal on, left mirror check. Make sure there's no ambulance or high-speed vehicle coming down. Looking in my rear view mirror as I straighten up. Gently increase my speed. Speed limit is 30. I'm travelling at an appropriate speed. Traffic lights here, I'll be turning left. Check my mirrors here. Decrease my speed slightly. Check my mirrors again. Signal
Turn left.
Left mirror check again. Left mirror check again. Follow the curve of the road round. Straighten the car.
After 200 yards, go around the roundabout and take the third exit, Legram's Lane, then turn right.
So I'll be doing a U-turn on the roundabout. So I'll follow the road round, check my mirrors here, not signalling yet because there's a road here. Check my mirrors again,
go
signal
around
right,
the roundabout and take the third exit,
and
then turn right.
take a wide turn. Right mirror check here, right mirror check again. Travelling around the roundabout at an appropriate speed. At the speed limit here, although it's 30, I'll travel at a speed that's appropriate for the environment I'm in. That means by going fast, it's not going to work. So I'm going over the speed bump as smooth as I can.
After 200 yards, turn right, A6177, Ingleby Road.
So I'm now turning right at the traffic lights again. Check my mirrors again. Signal right. Stay in my lane, stay in the centre of my lane, rear view mirror check again. Stop at the first line. Gently move forward into the junction. Noticing my filter light has not turned on. Checking both ways. Moving forward into the junction, angling my car correctly. Coming to a stop. The light's green. I'm waiting for the light to either change colour or a safe gap. Looking down the road for an emergency vehicle that may be coming through. I'll gently follow the road ahead. Looking at my sat-nav's telling me that I'll be turning right in 800 yards, sorry. and that I believe is just after McDonald's. My speed is 28, looking in my mirrors, looks good. Speed's constant, we're in 29 now. Looking in my left helmet now, I've realised I'm a little bit far to the right, so I'll gently move a little to the left. Now I've moved to the left by not even moving my steering wheel. I'm looking at the traffic lights, they're still red. And I'll gently slow down, paying attention to the entrance to the left. Looking in my rear view mirror, stopping tyres on a tarmac behind the vehicle in front. For those that are just joining us, this is a Heaton test route that I'm going over with you guys. As I move off, I'll look in my mirrors again just in case I miss something. Now the traffic lights are green, potentially could go red. Looking in my rear view mirror, I've got safe gap with the vehicle in front. Left mirror check, to see what's going on in my left door mirror. And I'm looking at people coming out of Morrison's, and I can see the red car that's slightly in the road. Right mirror check just in case I need to do something. So I'm going to take the next road on the right, check my mirrors, signal right, right mirror check again, straightening my car, looking in my right door mirror, straightening my car, following the road ahead, looking at what that red car's doing, looking in my right door mirror as I come out, looking at my sat-nav is telling me I'm going to be taking the third road on the right.
Turn right, Inglegar Street.
Now I can see the learner car. Now in this area you need to be a little careful. The reason why you need to be a little careful is this is where learners come, what we call the nursery route. So this is where they learn the left and right turns. So while you're whipping and driving really cool and everything, you can see him there holding steering wheel. You can see the driving instructor. And because it's a route used by learners, as in fresh learners, you need to make sure it doesn't affect you in your driving test. So make sure that you're aware of what's going on around you. You'll see I moved in my seat there as well. The reason why I moved is so I can make effective observations.
At the end of the road, turn right, Duncan
So at the end of this road I'm turning right, so check my mirrors, signal right.
Turn right, then take the third right.
And you'll see as I'm coming out, I've got a passenger sat in the front. I'm looking past the passenger. If you can't see past your driving exit, I can see that blue car there. I'll just slow down here.
Turn right,
she can't see me, now she can.
Ingleby Road.
Now because she couldn't see me, I stopped, and that's the safest thing to do. So it was safer for me to stop and give her ample room to come out. So I'm turning right here. Check my mirrors, signal right. Now I'm aware it's a Sunday, so there's lots of cars parked on either side. So I'm leaving enough space on the right for cars to go past my car. I'm looking at the sat-nav, I've got 1.5 miles left on this test route. It's telling me to turn right here. So I'm looking ahead of me and looking at what's going on. And in particular, I'm looking at how many cars ahead of me are going to go past my car. So I'm looking in my mirrors, my signal's on.
Turn right, A61.
I need to position with the red car. I can see the BMW. Looking around, looking at the junction, seeing what's going on. So I'll stop slightly further forward, knowing full well I'm leaving enough space for a car behind me to come behind me. Looking in my right door mirror again because I intend to go. Looking in my right door mirror as I go. So I'm looking out for a cyclist on my right there. So I look once, look twice, think bike. Looking at my sat-nav and it's telling me I'm just going to follow the road ahead. So effectively I'm going ahead, I'm going back to the test centre. So that, if I did reasonably well, that means I'm I'm looking in my right door mirror again, and you'll see how many mirror checks I make. Now I'm going to stay in the left lane for the purpose of today, but usually I'm moving to lane 2. So I'm looking at my rear view mirror, and you'll see this man's just decided to stop now. The point I'm trying to make is usually I go into lane 2. I just go forward in lane 2. And the reason why I do that is because it's just faster. Now, because when we go ahead, these two lanes merge, I need to assess who's in the lane on the right and what they're doing. So I look in my door mirrors, I can see a white Audi A3. I can also see, I believe it's a taxi, it's a blue taxi. Now I'm the second vehicle here. I'm looking at the second or third vehicle to merge with. So we kind of squeeze into one lane together. So I'm looking to my right, I can see 3 cars. In my lane, there's 1 car behind me, it's a learner car. Now when I merge with them, nobody has priority, so we both give way to each other and we merge together. So we imagine it as I'm in lane 1 and they're in lane 3, and we're both going to go into lane 2. So we need to give way to each other. So I'm looking in my right door mirror now, and now there's still 3 cars, and no cars come behind them yet. So there's still 3, in my lane there's 3. Now there's another car behind, and there's another car in my lane too. So now as I'm going ahead, I've decided I'm going to be working with this car on the right. So check my mirrors here, I signal right blind spot check, and I filter into the centre lane. Cancel my signal, thank the driver. There's nothing wrong with thanking somebody.
After 400
you don't lose any self-respect, and it's perfectly fine for a driving test. The point I'm trying to make is, don't feel obliged not to say thank you. It's nice, it's common courtesy. You have control of the car, you have your hands on the wheel, you're in good control. Saying thank you is good. So I'm looking at the sat nav and it's telling me I will be doing a left turn soon. So it's somewhere either past this white van or before. I believe it's just after. So check my left door mirror here, signal left mirror check. I'm watching what's going on here, I'm watching the young kid. There's lots of cars parked on this road, so I'm slowly going up. I can see the learner car waiting for me. Looking in the rear view mirror. And I'll gently go through this gap. And you'll see that I reduce my car speed. If you can't see, or if you feel that the area is restricted, you're expected to slow down. Now this is not a dead end. If I look at my sat nav, it's telling me I need to turn right here, but you need to be careful because cars will be coming from the right. So you reduce your speed, look to your right, do what I'm doing, kind of look over, see what's going on. There's no shame in doing this. You'd rather do this than have an accident. And it looks good. So now look at my sat nav, it's telling me, I believe it's the end of the road, I'm turning left. Or it's ahead. So I'm looking, it looks good. The speed I'm travelling at is appropriate. And that's my nose twitching. So it's telling me I'm turning left onto Lilycroft Road. Which is the end of this road, isn't it? No, it's not, it's ahead at this junction. So this is a staggered junction. So I'm looking at what I need to do. So I'm going to go ahead to where that white van is. So I'm stopping here. I'm looking to my right and I can see nobody coming up the road. Everyone seems to be turning right into the DIY shop. So I'm looking to my left. I can see a learner car. Now he's stopped there for the box junction that's on the floor. So this is a hard turn I'm going to make. So I'm looking both ways. Now I can't move until everyone on my right disappear. So I'm looking to my left to get a feel of the road, to see what's going on. I can see a motorcyclist coming down from my left. There's nobody on my right. Now I'm looking over this passenger, looking again, and I'm going to squeeze through here. There's nobody on my right. So now I'm following the road ahead. I'm looking at the sat nav, it's telling me I'm turning left onto Lilycroft Road. Now Lilycroft Road is them traffic lights where that police accident was. So where that accident was, where the police car was, that's Lilycroft Road. So if you turn left there, Lilycroft Road. If you turn right, it's Oak Lane. So that's a junction where the names change. Hopefully, I think they would have cleared the accident up
yards, now. Turn left, Lilycroft Road.
Nope, the accident's still here, but the filter left is still working. We can turn left there like everyone else is doing there.
Turn left.
So I'm checking my mirrors here. I'm signalling left. Now there's an old BT office here, so I won't bother signalling yet. And once we go past this gate, I'm then going to signal left and turn left where all these cars are going. And this is taking us back to the test centre. So this is, we've done that route. We're literally on our way back. Now it can only go wrong in another 2, I believe 3 places. Other than that, we've kind of mastered it really well. So I'm looking in my mirrors, looks good. As I move forward, I signal left. There's no point signalling halfway up the street, it doesn't make sense. It's not timed. As I'm turning left, on the floor you can see a give way. I need to give way to anyone on my right, coming from the test centre up into this road. So I'm looking, there's no emergency vehicle coming down the road. Look to my right, look to my left again, then I'm following the road ahead. The reason why I look to my left, just in case there was an ambulance or a police vehicle coming down with all this traffic held back.
Turn around when possible, then turn left.
Okay, it's telling me to turn left there, and your examiner would just take over. And you'd go back to the test centre a different way. Do me a favour, turn the volume off on the sat nav. Yes, we're on Lillycroft Road now, but yeah, Oak Lane. So because you weren't permitted or allowed to go ahead, now when you start your driving test, they'll say to you, follow the road ahead until signs or I or somebody else tells you otherwise. So because the policeman was there blocking the road, you'd be expected to find another way. He would guide you. So you don't need to know your way around here. Your examiner would say to you, okay, take the next road here or the next road there, and that's how you turn around. So now we're taking the next road on the right. This is back to the test centre. Mirrors, signal, reduce my speed. I know it's a crossroad. The boys crossed the road, right mirror check, coming into the road but giving this lady a chance to adjust her car. Looking in my inside mirror, left and right, and it looks good. And I'll follow the road ahead. Now on this road you have to be a little careful. The road's narrow, but there's cars parked on either side and they're double parked. So we're watching that learner car that's probably doing the same test route as we are. And now we're watching that boy that's doing something to the car. Now you'd be expected to stop here because that is in the middle of the road. So you'd be expected to wait. She's telling me to go through and I have to wait for a second. And I'm making eye contact with the driver, making sure it's safe. Move a bit more to the right, then back to my side. Thank the lady for waiting for me. And the reason why I stopped there was because they had a jack under the car. Now if they pull that jack out, it would damage my car, or potentially we could have an accident. So what I did, I waited, made eye contact. The vulnerable road user, he had a jack, but it's a human being. So we wait for him to see me. Now I can see that van coming, so I'm easing off a little. Once we've made eye contact, he's got closer to his car, he's let me go, so he's aware of my presence. Then I've continued. I'm now turning right at the end of this road. Check my mirrors here, signal right, not going too fast because it's a closed junction. So potentially there could be a car coming into the junction unaware of my presence. So I'm looking both ways, it looks good. Gently coming out, nice and slow, moving my head forward to make effective observations, and it looks good. Now I've got a give way, but there's nothing coming ahead of me. Mirrors, right mirror check. And now I'm going to take the next road on the right again. And this finishes off your test route. So check my mirrors, signal right. As I'm looking in my right door mirror, I'm looking into where I'm actually parking. So I'm going to park somewhere near that bin. Now there's nowhere for me to park near the bin because there's 2 learner cars. So I'm now going to park a little further forward between these 2 learner cars. So mirrors, signal, left mirror check, slow my car down, left mirror check again, bring the car in, slowly straighten the car positioning, I'm touching the brake as I'm coming in, and I've come to a gentle stop here. As I've stopped, park, handbrake on. So guys, brothers and sisters, that was a whole test route I did with you there. If you have any questions, you can ask. I will be turning off this live feed in a few moments.